offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning to everyone out there, and happy Friday to you. I hope that everyone is having a great start to their day and is looking forward to a great weekend. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Harden, and I have a room full of very special guests with me today. We're going to be talking all things music, and more specifically, string music. I have with me Dr. Chi Young Song from Arkansas State University, Dr. Neil Barty, also retired from Arkansas State University, Ms. Sherry Collins from Arkansas State University, and Ms. Brianna Smith from City Youth Ministries. Thank you all for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I would like each of you, please, before we get into the topic of the day, to please give some background about yourself so that our listeners and viewers can get to know you more.
Well, I'm Neil Barty. I taught at Arkansas State University for 41 years, various things in music, and one of the things was trying to develop the orchestra program there. And I've been the founder and conductor of the Community Symphony here, now called the Delta Symphony Orchestra, since 1975. We gave our first concert there, and we've been on a 40-something year crusade to try to increase the impact of string music on the whole community of Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Part of the way to do that is we started this community symphony, and we've been interested in the education of young string students for all that time too, because we don't have any public school string programs, and we've been trying to help any way we can develop it through the university, through the schools, through private agencies, and various elements here in town. So we're interested in really what this great string project is going to help, especially with city youth.
We're thankful for people like you who want to continue what you started through your work at Arkansas State. And I'm sure the children are very blessed and happy for these different programs as well. All right, Ms. Cherie.
Hi, I'm Cherie Collins. I'm here. I'm from Jonesboro. I teach at Arkansas State University as adjunct choral director of the men and the women. And but I'm also the president of the Delta Symphony Orchestra board of directors. So that's my involvement with the strings. So this string project had to have an orchestra involved in it as well, and it's our pleasure to do anything we can do to help foster this. My involvement with strings is it's a passion that I have to involve strings with any and every concert that I have with my choral students. It's imperative for them to see how strings work, the fluidity, the legato things that they do. It's just vocal, you know. And so the more they can perform together, the better musicians they're going to be. Awesome. So, it's a lovely thing to have young people coming up with this love. Mm-hmm. And I know that Dr. Barty will probably agree with me that he has to call from large areas to get the strings in, and the more we bring them up here, the pull will be very close. So
absolutely,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Brianna Smith, and I've been working at City Youth Ministries for about 3 years. This is my first full year. I currently before worked summers. I am Miss Denise Snyder's assistant, and I've been her assistant since about November of 2016. I helped with Dr. Song, as in getting the children organized and picking the certain children for him to help teach and instruct how to play the violin. So.
And we'll talk a little bit more about how the selection process went and, which students were more reluctant or which students were more receptive, things of that nature. So we'll definitely get into that a little bit more. Dr. Song.
I'm Chiyoung Song. I'm the assistant professor of violin and viola and coordinator of strings at A-State Department of Music. Part of my job is, besides teaching violin and viola, I also took over Dr. Barty's orchestra directing. So that's what I do at the university. I direct the A-State University Orchestra, as well as working with the public school music system. Okay. And last year I wrote a grant for a string project consortium. It's a national grant. And Arkansas State University is the first university in the state of Arkansas that has received the title as string project size. It's very exciting. So I started it this year. So I work with many different, basically pre-college students. Okay. And CD Youth, I just started teaching there about a month ago, and it's just been a joy working with them.
All right, so tell us about how this project came to be, this relationship came to be between the Delta Symphony Orchestra and A-State String Project, and then how did you all connect with City? Like, how did this all come to fruition?
Right. I'll make it short because it's a very long story. Okay. I mean, it took a year to get there. So when I came to Arkansas State last year, fall of 2016, and part of my job description said my job was to enrich and really develop the string community and education in the state, and especially Northeast Arkansas region. And I was brainstorming about it one day, and then I thought, oh, you know what, the string project grant, if we can get it, that would really be a great way to just jumpstart on that whole thing. Wow. Because the way it happens is that the National String Project Consortium funds university for 5 consecutive years. They financially help us in creating assistantship positions. So those assistantship, well, first of all, that would be a really great way to recruit students to our university. Okay. And those assistants will go out and work with K through 12 students for free because they are getting paid from the university. Okay. And the students, K through 12 students in town, will receive very high quality string instrument instruction because I'll be directly supervising them. It's a very hands-on experience for the university students as well as the students that receive the education from the university students. So I was writing the grant, and it was like a ginormous, like 35-page grant. I was writing it, and then I got involved with Delta Symphony Orchestra and Dr. Barty's vision, as well as Barbara Jimenez, who cannot be here today, and Cherie Collins. Their vision for the orchestra, Delta Symphony Orchestra, was just everything I was looking for, and I wanted to be part of that movement the Delta Symphony was creating. So I proposed to them that would you like to be partner in this grant? Okay. And they agreed on it graciously. So we submitted it. We got the news beginning of this year that we were chosen as one of these sites. So they are going to start funding us shortly, very soon. And I was, then after that, we got the news. It was really great. And I was working on, okay, how am I going to actually execute it? So I was working on that. And Jessica Blackburn from our development office approached me with this idea to work with City Youth. Mm-hmm. And prior to coming to Arkansas, I actually worked with very similar institution in Kentucky, where we offered free music lessons to underserved students. And I saw what that did to those students, and I talked to Jessica. I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for. I'm more than happy to do it. So then Jessica Blackburn got us, in touch with Denise, and that's how it came about.
That is really wonderful. Yeah. I want to talk about, in the school system, has music programs declined? Have you all seen, even though you are you are working on the university level, right? Mm-hmm. Have you seen a decline in music programs in the, just say, high school and middle school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, flat out yes. It's not the music teacher's fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is the expectations put forth by the higher powers
Okay.
for testing, for
Yeah.
I can speak from a personal example. I have two daughters in the public school system, and they really have to just pick one thing and focus. I'm speaking extracurricular.
Okay.
And they have to, because of their academic expectations, if they want to be an honor graduate or whatever. So they're not allowed to perform in a lot of different extras.
Okay.
So that in itself, the pool of children that the music teachers can expect is smaller. So yes, it has declined.
Right.
Okay. Now, from your perspective, Dr. Barty, when students come to the university and they have an interest in music, playing instruments in particular, when they come to you, when you were teaching, did you find that you had to almost start at a very beginning, like ABC type level with them because they weren't exposed to as much music education in high school?
Well, in some aspects, they don't have the theory and the philosophies and some of the techniques that music majors might have. But we do have a lot of strong band programs and choral programs in this area that we don't want to say they've declined in quality necessarily, but
In
as
number,
Sharif said, they don't have the opportunities to participate in a lot of different things like they might used to have. But there are strong programs that. I was a state president of the Music Educators Association about 10 years ago, and we were fighting for a number of hours of a day that elementary students could have in their program, in the music program, that involved legislating and talking to government people and getting laws passed that say they could at least have music in the schools. That was some increase in that about 10 years ago, but as Cherie said, the choices are so
limited.
Great now. In the when they get to junior high school, they don't have much opportunity. So we just want string programs to be part of the choices.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the discipline it takes to play a string instrument. Not everyone has the coordination or the understanding of what strings make what notes and how to apply the proper pressure. Like I can't even begin to.
Right. I mean, those are the things that students will learn from the classes, string project classes. And I also want to talk about, what it is. So I truly believe that the government has to subsidize arts education in this country, general art sector for that matter, because well, first of all, to me, wanting to be at our best, whether it's looks or it's your personal skills, that I think that's as a basic human instinct as anything else, right? And I feel like any art form, whether it's music, writing, fine arts or whatnot, I think that's what we do in that specific field. So to me, I don't see any reason for government to not subsidize arts education. And yes, it takes a good deal of discipline, but students will learn that discipline. So they learn how repetition is important. They learn how much time they have to put into it. So music education is not just about teaching them how to read music or play certain instruments. It's more about what it takes to accomplish something. And it teaches them patience, very analytical approach, because like you said, it's very complicated for string instruments. So they have to approach it mathematically as well as scientifically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they get to learn about history and how, like human civilization evolved or declined throughout the time. So by teaching music, we're in a way educating students we're educating them very, to become a thorough, very wholesome human beings. It's not just about art.
It is across the curriculum.
Yeah.
Completely, you know.
Wow. This is where I want to bring Miss Bree in. So she works directly with the young children at City Youth Ministries. What impact do you see being involved in the string project and other music and other arts programs? What impact has it had on the children?
Well, an impact that it's certainly had on them, I feel like it's almost like a relief, because so many of the kids come there and they've experienced stuff throughout the school day, and then they experience stuff when they get home. So when they get to play the violin with Dr. Song, that's kind of something that they've never experienced before. So it's opening a door to new experiences that they probably wouldn't have had if we wouldn't have even gotten in contact with Dr. Song. So it's awesome because so many of them are so excited.
Yeah.
At first they were kind of like, I really don't want to play the violin. And I was like, just give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. Well, one of our girls, she already plays the violin.
Okay.
And so she was super excited. She couldn't wait. She was like, Miss Bree, is he coming today? I'm like, yes. Yes, he's coming. And they asked throughout the week, so we're still playing violin on Wednesday, right? And I'm like, yes, we still are. So they're enjoing it. And they love it. Just seeing and hearing him play, they enjoy it a lot.
That's amazing that now they're looking forward to it. Like you said, it gives them a release from their everyday life. And it adds another little happy spot in their life.
Yes.
Now, have you also seen, since they have been involved in this program, an increase in their grades, their attitude, behavior? Has it helped them around, across the board?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a training mechanism as well.
Okay.
Because it's putting order in their life.
Okay.
So a lot of the children who are taking the violin lessons from Dr. Song, you can tell a difference in their behavior as to a certain extent of, if I had to warn them once before, I don't have to warn them at all now. They just know to do certain things.
Okay.
And so it's pretty cool because you can see the change taking place in their life just because of learning how to play the violin and seeing how to play it. I think that it is impacting them and that they're enjoying it to its fullest.
It's wonderful. Dr. Barty, do you get to go out and interact with the students?
Not on this project yet, but I'd be glad to. I'd just like to remind everybody that the Symphony, it was involved in the project 2 years ago with City Youth, and it was a very beneficial thing then. When we, through a grant written by Elaine Barty and through the Symphony, we hired a dance teacher, and they did some after-school work, and it was very similar to what you're describing. The kids had a wonderful experience, a select group of 17 or 18 young students, and they were able to do things they'd never heard before or done before, learning the Alvin Ailey style dance.
Yeah.
And then perform with the Symphony on a concert, which is a big thrill for them. So we're really excited about helping out any way we can and getting involved in the string project. So City Youth is a great ministry in the town, and much like we've done things with the Hispanic community and special needs groups, but this is a very special group too.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. I would love to see the community really back these programs and projects that are coming forth, because it takes us to help push and motivate our children to be the best they can be, so they can become viable, productive adults in this society. They're going to one day live here and work here and be running things, so we need to...
I don't know if we have time for this, but I mean, I wanted to, elaborate. I'm sorry, I didn't sound like that. No, I mean, I don't, tend to say smart things. But, to elaborate on, Ms. Smith's point, this whole system is really largely based on this program called El Sistema, which literally, I guess, means the system in Venezuela. What they do is that the government supports arts education. So they give each student an instrument and teach them for free. It's like a public school or public music education program.
Okay.
And the outcome of it has been just amazing. Every study has ever been done on El Sistema has shown that economic growth of that student's family, as well as socio emotional, I think that's the word. Yeah.
Okay.
There's like social
I'm not a
things. I mean, they see like a significant improvement of that, and when we talk about like fancy musicians nowadays, high-profile musicians like Gustavo Dudamel, who is the music director of LA Symphony Orchestra, he was a product of El Sistema. As well as Berlin Phil's youngest member ever. He got, as far as orchestra goes, Berlin Phil is the top, and they hired 17-year-old double bassist who was the product of El Sistema. And there is really a great deal. I mean, there is a potential for these students at City Youth to become one of them. And the reason we educate students is not so that they can be rich or successful. I mean, yeah, that's important, but at the end of the day, we want them to be a viable member of each society, right? And it is my hope, and that's certainly the case for me and all of my friends, because I'm also a beneficiary of something like this back in my home country, South Korea.
Okay.
And I want these students to be successful in their own field and later on come back to a community, whether it's Jonesboro or something that they identify themselves with, and be that valuable member to that community.
All right, that is wonderful. We're going to get ready to come up on our first break.
Okay.
And we are speaking with Dr. Chi-Young Song from Arkansas State University, Dr. Neil Barty, retired professor from Arkansas State University, but still very active with the Delta Symphony Orchestra, Ms. Cherie Collins, who is the choir director at Arkansas State University, and Ms. Brianna Smith, Assistant Director at City Youth Ministries. And if you have any questions or comments, you can please give us a call at 870-277-1080 or leave us a message on our Facebook live stream. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you know what makes a good parent? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Do you remember leaving the hospital with your first child? You might have thought, what do I do now? As you've continued your parenting journey, you may have also thought, am I even doing this right? Well, there's no instruction manual that comes with our kids. There's no scientific checkup to determine if you're being a good parent. But there are some things to consider. First, check where you're spending your time. Is your calendar filled with things to do with your kids? Second, how are you disciplining your children? Calmly and gently with authority, or yelling and screaming in chaos? For more on being a good parent, listen to my new podcast at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com. Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
the new book, The River's Edge, by Bill Wilkins. Although a work of friction, inspiration comes from the true events, Operation Delta Blues, and the famous King Biscuit Blues Festival, set in Helena, Arkansas. Wilkins captures the excitement and danger of stepping into underworld crime, where there's no one can be trusted and there's no way out. The River's Edge, by Bill Wilkins.
Available at Amazon.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Dr. Chi-Young Song from Arkansas State University, Dr. Neil Barty, retired professor from Arkansas State University, Ms. Cherie Collins, choir director at Arkansas State University, and Ms. Brianna Smith, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep that
You're
right.
fine.
Assistant Director of City Youth Ministries. We have been talking about the relationship that has formed between the Delta Symphony Orchestra, the A-State String Project, and City Youth Ministries, and how these individuals are working together to bring string music education to these young people of our great city of Jonesboro, the community as a whole. Let's first talk about the selection process. How do you choose students to be involved?
So basically what I did, we selected a grade. The best children in that grade from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade are the ones who are currently in his class.
Okay.
And I picked the ones who would be the most open.
Okay.
Who would be the most open and wanting to learn and having a desire to learn.
Okay.
So based on that, I picked 6 kids out of each grade for each rotation that Dr. Song would have. And that's basically how they were selected, as in wanting to grow.
Okay.
Wanting to grow and doing something that they necessarily wouldn't have done before.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that they've been pretty well behaved and that
they're
they're enjoying it.
They're
I hope so.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about how the students get instruments.
So soon after I started working at, right before, at City Youth, I wrote another grant. It's an internal grant within the university called Back to Pack.
Okay.
So what we did was to let the community, especially alumni association, know that this is what we are doing to enhance, enrich, and educate, which is, by the way, the university's motto. The whole community.
Okay.
And we got a lot of donations, upwards of well above $2,000, which can afford us really a number of instruments.
Okay.
And so that one just closed. Everything is in order, so it's not just university working. Yes, university is working very hard with City Youth, but it's also, there is a great deal of community input to this.
That's
and
wonderful.
I want to thank every one of the community members, including Dr. Gorty, who donated to Back to Pack. And next year, I'm talking about spring, 2018, we're getting another $5,000 grant from United Way, NEA.
That is wonderful. I'm so happy to hear about all of the support that you are receiving for this program. We know as adults the benefit that music has in our lives. How do you express the benefits of just music and arts in general to children?
I mean, a lot of... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, when you ask that question, I've taught for a lot of years, and I guess I'm starting to see students that I taught 30 years ago and how they come to me and how it benefits them today as their avocation. That discipline that we work so hard on with our youth right now, it just blossoms. They may take a little vacation from it when they're, when they're in university or whatever, but it's that blessing that they have later on in life, and it disciplines everything they do.
Right.
But anyway, you go on. Sorry, I
no,
interrupted
it's
you.
okay. I mean, I actually was asked the same question. It was actually, it's not the same question, but someone came up to me and told me that I just don't see why we have to support art. And and I just gave the person myself as an example, because I'm not particularly from a good community either, and my family situation is very interesting, to say the least. And all of my friends who were fortunate enough to have received such education like the City Youth is doing with the children there have gone on to, including myself, gone on to do great things with their careers. So I'm here, and for instance, another friend of mine is now working for World Bank at UN, and she can go anywhere except she wants to go to Africa to really help those nations be financially stable. Another good friend of mine is, hit it big time on Wall Street, and then now he went back to also with her Africa to, work on those, not so, privileged, countries and their financial situation and stuff like that. So it's not just about teaching them again how to play certain instruments, more about teaching them how to become a wholesome human being.
Okay.
And I think that's really the benefit of arts education and music education in particular, because students will always remember. And all of my friends who were not as fortunate to have received or to have had something like CDU next to them are, quite frankly, dead or in jail now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So these different arts programs, music, fine arts, whether it's visual performing, it adds some structure to
certainly.
individuals' lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and gives that strength in their daily lives.
Okay. Miss Bree, I want you to please elaborate a little bit more on other services that City Youth offers and how the children have been responsive to those programs.
So we have also collaborated with another grant through A-State, and they're offering art classes.
Okay.
And so they're learning how to sculpt and how to draw like pictures and a lot of the kids at first were very reluctant. They were not about it. But as the time they've been doing that also for about a month, and they do that every Tuesday. But as the time has gone by, you can just tell that their craft is developing.
Okay.
And that it is awesome that the transformation that's taken place, because a lot of them at first were so reluctant. They did not want to do it, and then as time has gone on, they're like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at this, and they're open to it. They're like, Miss Bree, are we having art again,
Okay.
And so it's awesome. We also have that. And now, every Monday starting next week, we'll also be having a free tennis clinic at Earl Bell. And so we have a select group of children also going to Earl Bell and learning how to play tennis. And we also have Elite. They train them in basketball, and they get training every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. So we try to offer as many things to them that they wouldn't necessarily get if they weren't at City Youth. So. Okay,
so you are helping to enrich the children's lives like full circle, music, art, sports. So physically and mentally, you are really helping these children to grow and be more confident, structured individuals.
Yeah.
I want to ask each of you to give your perspective on your experience working with young people. Dr. Barty, what's the youngest that you have worked with?
Well, I taught beginning students who are in the lower grade schools instruments, and I was listening to Cherie and Chi Young's talk there. I can say that I probably have grandchildren come back of my former students now that say they've had experiences that are valued in their lifelong learning experience. I have one that I taught 30 years ago as an undergraduate student. He went into be the medical profession and has come back. He's finished his medical career. He's in his 50s and wants to go back into music. So he's actually enrolling at ASU again this fall to be a music major after 30-year career as being a doctor, because this is going to be the fun part of his life.
That's so neat.
But every age it's very rewarding. I mean, we teach all ages. My wife has a 40-year-old cello student who's a beginner, and he just enjoys it so much. Right. And we've taught all kinds of ages. There's no age limit on learning anything about in music. And as all the others have said, it's very beneficial in all of your life experiences too. So it's just a rewarding thing.
Now, I do want to ask about parent or guardian involvement with the individuals that are involved in this program. Have you seen an increase in parental involvement, maybe more interest or willingness to help a child learn and practice at home, or just discuss, I don't know, music history, anything?
Well, like I said before previously, one of our girls, she already plays the violin, and so her mother's super excited because basically she's getting free lessons, so her mother's excited. But also, I think a lot of the parents are interested, as in like, wow, this is something that we were exposed to that we probably wouldn't have been.
Right.
And they're enjoying seeing their children participate in learning how to play the violin and learning different different aspects that they wouldn't necessarily learn before.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now I do want to ask about, I know you all right now are dealing with, young children, the elementary, possibly junior high level. from your experience, each of you, how do you think this would benefit elderly? Do you foresee the string project or any music project growing or expanding to incorporate the elderly?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, to reiterate my point, it's the community effort, especially with the first back-to-back grant that happened that afforded us all these instruments. And shameless plug here, we are doing our first concert December 4th, which is Monday at 7:30 at the Fowler Center.
I will make sure to stay on top of that information so that I can pass it on.
Thank you. And you know, the community members, not just about parents, you know, like the students' parents, but community members come and get to see what they have contributed to this program, and they will witness, you know, what a profound and positive difference that their, you know, very small action has made in these students' lives. And I think that itself is a very rewarding thing for adults. And as we grow culturally more, I guess, rich in this town, I think, well, in economic terms, I think that's going to bring in more business. I was actually at Delta Regional Authority meeting a few months ago, and that's one of the biggest things that they were talking about. Like, for a town to be successful, you have to create some culture that's very rich and substantial. And I think we're on the right track with this. Yeah, and that also benefits university and Delta Symphony because we get to produce good string players.
I would love to see as many community members as possible. I want them to pack the house out in December. These children need to see the community supporting them. That would, I think, would give them more of a boost to want to continue and expand their education. I'm not going to say master the string instrument. Once they get a deeper understanding, get more experience, they may want to move on to another instrument, or they may want to, say, go from violin to bass to... Please help me. What are some other instruments?
Cello.
Yeah. Or go to another field, but still have the same, you know, hard-working principle and nature. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you teach violin, but do you offer any other stringed instrument education, or?
Yes, actually, as of this week, we're offering double bass lessons.
Wow.
Starting actually at BPA first. And then as we get more funding, I'm going to be able to, you know, hire our own university students to go out and teach. And our music department is, you know, we have a lot of Bachelor of Music Education, students, and it's a very good experience for them. And Dr. Barty just reminded me that, we also offer cello lessons as well.
Can you explain what the difference, and I'm sure I can Google it, what cello versus a bass, are they the same?
Oh, bass burns longer, just kidding. So violin is the smallest, and it plays the highest register.
And you hold it under your neck.
Right. As well as viola, which is just slightly larger than the violin and holds more beer. That's the joke there. That's we're in Tri County. That's also held under our neck. Cello is something that you sit on and play. And that's a very low register. Bass, it's like a voice. You know, bass takes care of the lowest register of string instrument family, and that's the one that people stand up. When you go to jazz bar, and then, you know, like when there's like that's the double bass.
So bass you have to stand. Cello you sit and play.
He's doing a lot of demonstrating here, which you can't see on the radio. You can. Are they going to be able to show the pictures? There he is. There, okay.
Well, we're definitely going to have Dr. Song play a little bit, you know, closer to the end of the show, because we want you all to hear what he's teaching and what your children are being exposed to. I mean, I am looking forward to it. I saw a little bit of snippet when you were invited to the Kiwanis Club meeting. Or you
you mean Lions Club?
Lions Club. Sorry. The Lions Club. And someone got a little bit of video of you playing, so I'm looking forward to hearing it live. I'm so grateful to have you all here to share your experiences. What would you like to see, or where do you see this program going, just in another year?
I think Well, I give University of Texas Austin as a prime example of how successful string project can be. They have above 800 for sure, almost 1,000 students enrolled in it, and that's just pre-college students.
Oh my gosh.
And ultimately, I think we can get there, and I think we are
1,000
getting
students.
there. Yeah, and that's going to help university, the community, as well as students,
Okay.
and Delta Symphony Orchestra greatly.
Okay. And Ms. Bree, would you at some point like to see all of the students that attend City Youth Ministries engage in some type of music or arts? Maybe not all of them in string, but all of the students that attend engage in some type of arts program.
I would like to see that because I know that the role music plays in children's life.
Okay.
So many of the children, they don't go the whole day without listening to music.
Okay.
You know, they're like, I need my music. You know, like
Yes.
I need to listen to music. Can we play this? Can we? And you're like, oh, just hold on. You know. So I know that the role that music plays in their life, and I would like for them to learn how to play, not necessarily strings, but even piano. You know, learning how to play the piano, or even drums. You know, learning some instrument that they necessarily wouldn't know.
Okay. Now, has there ever been a collaboration, Cherie probably can answer this, between, say, choir, ballet, orchestra? Like, has there ever been a big compilation of multiple?
Well, actually, I say I'm from Jonesboro, but I was gone for about 16 years to North Dakota.
Okay.
And I think while I was gone, there was such a collaboration that's gone on, but it's been too long. So it needs to happen again. I have dancers in my life. I have singers and access now to beautiful strings. I think it would be a phenomenal collaboration.
Yeah, we need to get back to some more of those things.
Yes.
I'm glad you're doing
Yes.
lots of strings with the choir concerts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. We did, for years, we had the orchestra for the Nutcracker production at the Forum. Foundation of Arts did that. We're not doing that anymore, live music, but we performed that with dancers, and like the City Youth Project we did before, they performed with the Symphony. So there are many things we need to get back into that. Takes money and grants, and
Yeah.
we compliment Chi Young for taking the lead and being aggressive and finding all these things.
Thank you so much. It takes the community support as well. We have to see the value in the children. We have to see the value that these programs offer, and we have to support them. Bottom line, we could talk all day long about what the government is not doing, and we wish they would do more. But at the same time, those of us who are able, we need to really back these programs as much as possible.
Well, we appreciate you having us on the radio show to do that.
Thank
This
you.
is a great thing. We thank you for KLEK.
Thank you so much. And this is, what we strive to do is bridge the gap between organizations, individuals, the community as a whole, and especially Arkansas State University, because some people see the university as one separate entity, and it is here to serve the community as a whole.
Exactly, yeah.
As evident with your partnership with City Youth Ministries. City Youth Ministries has been all over the place. I'm constantly on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm seeing like so many partnerships that you all have with so many different individuals. So I'm just grateful for the work that you all do.
Thank you.
How long has City Youth Ministries been open?
I know that originally it was actually called City Team.
Okay.
City Teams, and it originally opened, I'm not exactly for sure on the year, but I know that it was in the 1990s. So it's been open for a while.
Okay.
Over 20 plus years.
So that speaks a lot to the longevity, to the dedication and support from the community and the individuals that work there for the facility to still be running as strong as it is to this day.
I think there were churches involved in that originally that helped establish the group, and a lot of great volunteer people in there, in the churches in town.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. People don't realize, especially in the city of Jonesboro, that's the only one I can speak on. It takes volunteers to really support these organizations because there's simply just not enough funding for salaries to go around. But and what I would like for volunteers to understand is you are enriched just as much by participating in these programs And then I can speak on personal because I'm a volunteer, full-time volunteer. So we're going to get ready for another quick break. And when we come back, Dr. Song is going to perform for us. We're going to wrap up some of our previously stated comments so that you can understand what this program is all about, how to get in touch with any of these individuals. So please stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. In celebration of April's designation as Financial Literacy Month, we're going back to the basics to boost your Money Matters IQ. Today, I'm teaching the basics about stocks. A stock is simply a share or piece of ownership in a company. When you buy a stock, you become a shareholder in that company. Of course, stock in some companies is more valuable than others. Those considered the best are called blue chip stocks. At the other end of the scale are penny stocks, which generally sell for less than $1 a share. A bull market means that the overall stock market is increasing in value over a sustained period by at least 20%. A bear market is a prolonged decrease in that value by at least 20%. I'm out of time, but continue to listen to Money Matters Daily as we continue to boost your money IQ for Financial Literacy Month. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Arkansas Early Learning is accepting applications right now for childcare. We have locations all across Northeast Arkansas. Applications online at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org. Right here in the community at no cost. Arkansas Early Learning, offering kids a head start.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, there will be a free community workout every Sunday and Tuesday starting at 6 o'clock p.m. at Allen Park, and every Thursday night also starting at 6 o'clock p.m. at Parker Park. More information is available via Arlesia Baker at 870-273-3437.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I hope that you have been enjoying this conversation and taking some notes on how you can get more involved and getting your children involved in learning music, arts, more specifically string music. But right now we're going to have a treat by Dr. Chi Young Song. I'm sorry, I want to get that right. And so he's going to play us a little bit. Yay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So this is just a little sample of what your children will be exposed to by participating in the A-State String Project along with the Delta Symphony Orchestra at City Youth Ministries. That is so wonderful. Ms. Bree, can you tell us a little bit more about the children's initial reaction? Once you got them selected, when they first held their instrument, like what was some of their reactions?
So their initial reaction, most of them were like, I want to go outside. I don't want to play the violin. But of course, as time went on, they enjoy it. And just seeing a Dr. Song play it really brings joy to them because they get to experience, like I've said previously, they get to experience something that they necessarily wouldn't before. Because a lot of these kids, their environment isn't an environment where they'd be exposed to something like this. And so it's a great fulfillment knowing that they enjoy it as much as they do and that they get as excited just to even hold the violin, and they're like, they teach me, they're coming out of class and you put it right here, Miss Bree, not here. I'm like, okay, I understand. Oh, wow. So they really are enjoying it now.
So now they are able to engage in different types of conversations with you. Do you feel that it has enhanced their vocabulary? It has allowed them to, or encouraged them to start thinking deeper and more, be more conscious thinkers, or I'm looking for a word, I'm sorry, it's not coming to me. But the tone, the flow, their vocabulary, their speech, who they are overall.
Their behavior.
Yes.
Yes. So basically you can tell the difference, like I said previously, just the order that it brings. Learning something that they haven't necessarily learned before brings direction, and it also brings order that wasn't there previously before. And it's awesome to see them learning now I'm looking for a word. how it's just awesome because you can tell a difference in the intellect.
Okay.
There you go. And how they perceive things now. They perceive it with a different mindset than they did before.
Okay.
And so that's awesome because a lot of our kids live in North Side. And so for them to come home saying, hey, Mom, I learned how to play the violin today.
That's amazing.
Their families are like, what? How you learn how to play the violin? So it's awesome. I'm really enjoying them having this class and their intellect rising.
Okay.
So.
Ms. Cherie, do you foresee yourself incorporating what you do with the choir along with partnering with the string project and introducing some of that to the City Youth Ministries?
I would love to. We would love to bring a small group out and I think when children see what they can be doing in 2 years, 4 years, whatever, it gives them a goal to look forward to. Hey, I want to be part of that, and just to say, I don't know where this is leading. I can only hope and pray for the best. But if we could just now go out to more places and expose children that might not have been exposed and convince administrators that this is imperative.
Yes.
It's that's my hope, and then the big hope is that all of these students now will grow into adults that will infiltrate our orchestral program, and that's the big goal for me and hope for me.
Okay.
We'll see that.
All right, well, thank you. We have a Facebook shout out. I guess there are quite a few people watching. Nobody's really saying anything, but we do have one shout out from Marlon Henderson. Hi, Brianna. Brianna. We would like to really thank everyone for tuning in. Those of you listening on the radio or watching our Facebook live stream, we can't do what we do without the support of you all. So we thank you so very much for supporting Kelly K and for supporting Community Conversations. If you have an idea of someone who will make a great guest, please let me know. We want to continue to shed light on individuals and organizations who are doing wonderful things around the communities just like this. Dr. Martine, would you like to give some final thoughts about the Delta Symphony Orchestra and other projects you may be involved in?
Well, we're really happy to be part of this project. We're going to help Dr. Song in any way we can to make it happen through the schools or city youth, and maybe eventually some of the kids can perform with the symphony.
That'd be awesome.
There are accompaniments available. We've done some Suzuki things before that have young kids play, and symphony orchestra backing them up. So
wow.
All these collaborations are great, and we're just happy to be part of it.
I know I'm always thinking outside of the box, and I see little all kinds of videos on Facebook and YouTube and whatever. I know we talked a little bit before about incorporating, say, ballet with the strings, with the choir, with whatever. I have also seen some collaborations with people drawing, painting while music is playing. So, like, I would love to see it like a major, like a show, a full out show collaborating as many elements as possible. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
I'm putting it in the atmosphere, so whoever has the power to make that happen.
Pictures at an exhibition.
That would be so amazing.
I'm actually playing that next week.
And then connect with the director of the Bradbury Art Center, Art Museum. Is it art?
Art Museum.
Yeah. Art Museum, okay.
BAM, BAM.
BAM, that's right. We would love to see many partnerships come together for the benefit of our children. I mean, you know, it's a cliche, but the children are our future, and we have to do the best we can to reach them now, teach them and encourage and inspire them to be the best that they can be. Dr. Song, would you like to have any final thoughts?
Oh, I'm just very grateful that the Delta Symphony was on board with the string project when I was working on the grant. And I'm just beyond thrilled to see that this is finally, getting to the City Youth, which has always, the minute that I learned about City Youth, I just launched onto it. I was okay, I have to do this. And it's working out really well, and I'm just very, very happy about it. I'm very grateful to everybody at the university and at the community that helped us make this happen.
And one more time, can you give us the date of the concert?
December 4th, which is Monday.
Okay.
It says 7:30.
Okay.
Let me double check my calendar real quick just to make sure. Yes, it's December 4th, 7:30 at the Fowler Center, Riceland Hall.
Okay, so be on the lookout for information on Kelly K's Facebook and Instagram and possibly Twitter page.
Right.
We will make sure to pass on the information.
We do have a symphony concert coming up as well. We should actually promote that. October the 22nd, Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. at the Fowler Center. We're playing some of the great classics in orchestral music, as well as having Vicki McGee as our soloist. So be sure to come to that. That's Delta Symphony's first performance of the fall season.
All right, so thank you everyone for listening. I hope everyone has a very blessed day. Tune in on Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those